Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to our first episode. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm nervous. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you so much for tuning in to our first episode of Youth Unfold. We're really excited about this and we're really happy to have you here. Thank you guys so much for joining in.
So welcome everyone, welcome to our first episode of Youth Unfold. So we just want to give a little introduction and tell you a little bit about ourselves. I am Carmichael, my friends call me Mike. I'm a 19-year-old science student at the University of the West Indies who actually has a passion for music and creative arts. I am the youth secretary of the House of God Church in Old England. I also play the keyboard and I have been baptized for 12 years now. Yeah.
That's a long time. I'm Charnel. My friends call me Charnel. I am an art student. I am the chaplain or the assistant chaplain of the department here in Old England. I'm the secretary of the Sunday School department. I've been baptized for 8 years. I was baptized when I was 12, so I am, about to be 20 in a couple of days. Yeah, that's me.
Hey guys, I'm Tara, but my friends call me Tara, and I would like if everyone calls me Tara. I'm a 20-year-old third-year nursing student at Knox Community College. I am the assistant secretary for the youth department. I'm a Sunday school teacher, and I'm also on the praise and worship team. Charnel and we got baptized at the same time, so I've been baptized for 8 years as well.
Alright, the introductions are out of the way. We're going to get into the meat of the matter today. What is our topic, guys?
So the topic for our first episode is, does the old-time religion still works? And I think the $1,000,000 question is, what is the old-time religion?
Yeah.
You want to take that?
No, let's do rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first.
The best of three.
Yeah.
Alright, go. Mike, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Alright, well, agree.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Nice. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. The one more is a deal breaker. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Lovely.
Mike,
One again.
you should go.
Alright, to me, the old-time religion is the customs or rituals, the cultural aspects of the church, also the spirituality of the church years back. Or not like 5 years, but like I'm looking at 50, 60, 70 years ago. How the people of the church, how they were, how they carried themselves, what they believed in and everything. I think that's what the old-time religion is. How about you guys?
Alright, so I don't think there's a solid definition for the old-time religion because it depends on how you view the word old. Because my definition of old is once you reach 30 or 30 years, old. Old. Yeah, that's it for me. What do you think?
Well, to me, old is subjective, as you said, so I don't really have a specific time frame to say, old. But old-time religion to me is basically like rules governing a certain body of faith, whether it be what the church deems as right or wrong, or their biblical views of certain things, or stuff that they weren't allowed to do or were allowed to do. So yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. I think that covers it
Perfectly.
So my question to you guys, Charnel, do you think the old-time religion still works?
Some aspects of it, because let's just be honest, guys. People of today's world, they don't want to do certain things that were done back then, if we're being honest, and that's just the raw truth.
That is true.
So in certain aspects, yes, it does work, and I'm sure if people were like, what's the word? if they tried the old time religions today, still it would work. But because people they want change so much, they want to the rules to conform to their needs.
Right.
They probably wouldn't want it to work. But I think it would work if we actually gave it a shot. But what's happening? Probably not.
Shut them up to.
Yeah.
But, alright, so I feel like there are different aspects of it that we need to, like, alright, so for the old time religion, they dwell mostly on strict rules. Like, if it not do so, then you're shunned, or they don't find you're just wrong. Like, they're not for diversity or change.
Yeah.
They say change.
That's the word.
And now times are changing, and I feel like it needs to be changed as well. I think it needs to
Or
be.
not even change, just
adapt. That's
right,
the
or
word.
it just needs to be reevaluated because the world is constantly changing, and we as the church, we should try to evolve to include everybody, to get everyone's input to see how best we can make it into heaven. The old time religion does still work, but not everything works. I believe strongly that some things need to be reevaluated because, in my opinion, to be real, it just don't make no sense to me.
Yeah.
So some things need to be reevaluated.
And before we go further, let me just say this: we're not here to bash the old time religion.
Right.
No. Because we're all for some. We're all for it. We're all for it. We're not here to bash it. Let me just say that from now. Okay.
All right. When Tara said the word is changing everything and everything, people when they're in church, they always say that God or Jesus or whatever is not changing. He's the same.
He is the same.
Today, tomorrow, forever.
We know that.
Right. And because we know that, I don't think people should be so worried about what is going to happen if you change certain rules to adjust to the times of the era or whatever.
Right, that's a good point because if they always say a church without young people is no church at all.
Right.
The young people are the future. If it is that you're so rigid in your ways and in your way of saying to people, oh, you have to do this, oh no, do it this way, oh no, do it that way. There's nothing to back it up if they don't see where it's making sense to them or you're on a level where they understand what it is that you're saying, they understand what it is that you're trying to get them to do. They're not gonna listen. And I always say you can never force people to do what they don't want to do. So imagine me telling you, say, my car is red and you are seeing the car blue and there's nothing I can tell you to convince you that the car is red. Because in your opinion the car is blue. So they need to have more meat to put on to whatever it is that they want us to do from the old time.
And it can be seen in a lot of like examples in, like for instance, professions.
Right.
You can see like the church's view on the ideal job are the traditional ones. So doctors, lawyers, engineers, nurses, those. So if me go take up myself now and say, I don't want to be doing something. That's too much work. I want to do something I love. I want to do
something that you're passionate about.
like music production or journalism or
something out of the box.
Something out of the box.
A chef, a promoter, a web designer, a marketer, something different.
They struggle with the idea of it because they are stuck in practicality. They have to know that when you leave school,
first question is you can make money.
You're going to make
money. So is your job sure?
Right.
What do you mean you're going to be this? What does this person do?
You're
going to always decide on
you're going to be able to can provide for a family.
Speaking of that, you think if we were back then and we wanted to be YouTubers,
first of all, what is YouTube?
What is YouTube?
Why would you want to go and sit around a computer all day, the camera all day, talking? Listen,
are you going to make
nonsense.
money? How are you going to make money? What kind of life you're showing the people how you're doing
They
things
were
every day?
That's boring. Why you don't want to involve people in your life so much? What is this?
Right.
You know, that's just how they view it.
They were more focused on the income aspect of it and not
They needed to be certain
comfortable.
That they were able to make money. And I don't think that anybody should go into a job that they're not happy in, because mental health comes first. And if you're in a job that doesn't make you happy, it's constantly draining and you're just there for the money, really doesn't make sense, because at the end of the day, when your mental health is whack, what's gonna happen?
Look at me, for example, when I was doing, a couple months ago, I was doing biomedical engineering. I hated it, every second of it. But because it was such a practical job, I knew that once I left university, I was going to have a job. And I knew I was going to get a lot of money, which is great. But I hated it, and I couldn't do it. So I told my parents, I was like, listen, I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm changing faculties now, because my true passion is literature and writing and editing and that type of stuff. But at first I was like, they're not going to want me to do that, because the job isn't sure. If I'm going to become a screenwriter, it is not sure that tomorrow I'm going to be able to sell a script.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's just how the people back then view things, and I don't think that's a good way to do it, especially with young people today, because this is an era where people are so concerned about mental health and how you are doing up here, how you're feeling, emotional intelligence. They are for it in this era. So I don't think.
And not only that, young people these days, they are more sure of themselves.
Right.
So there's really nothing that you can tell them about them that they don't already know. Your parents might think, oh, you're so good at the sciences, you're gonna be such a good doctor, but that's not what your true passion is.
Right.
And no matter how much they try to, no, but not you specifically, no matter how they try to push you in that direction, that's just not the direction that you want to go.
Yeah.
So it just really doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to think of other aspects in where the old-time religion is being forced into this generation, apart from professions.
Oh, the attire. Appearances.
Definitely.
So wait,
That's number one.
let me ask you guys a question now. Has someone ever said to you before, asked you before, or you said something and they'd be like, you did a Christian?
Oh, girl, please, let's not even.
You a Christian? You a Christian? And you're like, what? Why do you think they asked you that question?
Because I don't look like one. I don't dress like how a Christian is supposed to.
Why do you think they asked you that question?
That's exactly right.
It's the attire.
Yeah.
Your perception of what a Christian should be, or people that they would look on and definitely say, oh, that girl is a Christian.
Sadly, it is a girl with natural hair, long skirt,
Jesus.
and just a regular looking blouse that is not showing too much.
And
She
her
has sleeves.
arms are covered.
Right,
Yeah.
arms are covered, no piercings, no
Nothing.
jewelry, nothing.
Because
It's all natural.
honestly, if you see somebody like that, you're like, oh, she's a Christian.
Definitely off the bat. And there are people that just dress like that because
Yeah.
that's how they feel comfortable, you know? And sadly, that's the way that they would like us to dress. No. When there's nothing wrong with long skirts and natural hair and no jewelry and just being bare. But if it's not something that you definitely like or something that you're not comfortable in,
It's just
wearing it to
style.
make other people comfortable, is that really the aim?
Well, that's what they want it to be. I think this entire appearance thing is just so that they are comfortable in themselves. Like if they see, like, yes, she's a Christian, not because you are comfortable, because that's how they view it. It's just about the appearance of a Christian.
Yeah.
And they always say, the heart is what matters.
Right.
The heart is what God looks on. Yeah, we know that, but is that what you're portraying? Is that what you're highlighting? When you see somebody, do you think, whoa, I wonder what she's like as a person? No, you see her dress a certain way and like, this girl could never be a Christian. Look at her hair, look at her clothes, look at her piercing. Why is she carrying on like that? Look at the makeup. Like, what?
And it's not even on the females alone.
The males
The
too.
males too. Their definition of a Christian male is a man in big pants. That's a number one.
Yeah.
And a regular low cut
School
train.
days.
School wise. If you don't feel the hair,
No.
If your pants tight, I mean, tight to an extent.
Right,
Because, you know,
right.
if it's too tight then.
Yeah.
But tight is a no-no. And they fail to understand that it's what you're comfortable in. You now get up and go wear one big pants.
They want you to swim in those
I'm
pants.
not going to get up and wear big pants. That was back then. Times have changed. Times have changed. And I just think that we need to adapt to the change in time.
Right, but with everything, modesty should be practiced.
Yes,
but
that's true.
what is their idea of modesty?
What is their idea of modesty? And at the end of the day, the modesty would still go back to what they think.
Yeah, that is true.
You know, so it's not, well, Christianity, we should all aim to look like Christians, be like Christians, but I don't think it should be solely focused on how a person carries themselves. You know, something just extra for real and you're really not supposed to wear them someday, but I don't think it should
But
be
at the
solely
same
focused
time,
on
I can
that.
understand why they are so adamant about how you look and about modesty. Because remember that they're always saying you're supposed to be different from the world.
Set apart.
Set apart. And I can understand that because some Christians, including myself sometimes, we we do dress like people of the world. And I that's the only way I'm able to like say, okay, I can agree with you about how you dress.
Right. Some certain things just out of pocket for real, like you should, why would you wear that? But when you dress like people of the world, quote unquote, do you feel uncomfortable?
No.
So how do you feel when you wear the clothes?
Alright, for example, our organization is against us or the females wearing pants, right? And that's something I struggle with. I'm being very transparent now, guys. That's something I struggle with because, for one, for the body type that I have, I just feel like pants is a suitable clothing choice for me.
Okay.
Because that's how I feel comfortable, right? And it's like, I know, because every time we have a discussion about pants, and they tell us why we shouldn't wear it and everything. I'm like, okay, I get that. But also, you have to understand that please, my body is not meant for skirts or dresses.
What?
So,
Shana, you look nice in some dresses.
You
Come
know
on.
whether... No, but that's not really what I'm asking you. Like, when you are attired in something worthy, like a pants, for example, and a nice little blouse and stuff, how do you feel? You said you don't feel good.
I don't feel any type of
Okay, so when you wear it, what's it like? What do you hope for? What do you hope? Who you hope to see you?
Oh, we always pray to God that we don't run into anybody from church.
Right, because how they're gonna look on you, and some people even go to the extent of not saying hello to you if they see you attired in certain things, which I don't think is right. Just saying, but yeah, you're comfortable in it, but you just really hope and pray for you. I hope nobody from church will see me in this clothes because I know they're gonna say something about it or make you feel uncomfortable about it. So a lot of stuff we do it because we don't want other people to feel uncomfortable, not readily because it makes us uncomfortable. So I guess that's respect. You respect the person that much that you wouldn't want to make them uncomfortable.
So any other aspect?
Of what, attire?
Apart from attire.
Oh.
What about relationships?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Alright.
What is it?
Getting into relationships now. Let me tell you. Back then, they believed that the suitable dating period, dating/courting period is roughly around 3 to 6 months. I'm estimating. Don't come for me. But yeah, that's what they believe. And if you are dating longer than that, you should just stop.
Yeah.
No.
If you're not going to get married.
If you're not going to get married, yeah. No. I don't believe that you can learn to know somebody in the period of 3 to 6 months. I don't think it's possible.
Especially not in this era.
Especially
Not
in
only
this.
that,
No.
you're be honest. You don't want to lead anybody into anything blindly. Oh, Carmichael, I really like you, and I can only date you for 6 months or 8 months.
Because marriage is the goal.
Because marriage is the goal, and if you're not ready to get married to me in that time, I'm going to have to break up with you. Let's say you see an opportunity. Let's say I was rich. And you're like, okay, that Christian girl that you can talk to, and you know you have 6 to 8 months. Wouldn't you put on the best show to ensure that I'm the person that you're meant to get married to? So putting a limit, you can't put a limit on knowing someone. And even when people get married, they still don't know their partner. So they're like, you were like this, or you know.
And also, with talking about getting to know somebody, I understand why they would be against you living together before marriage, right?
Yeah.
But you don't really know a person until you live with them.
Then there's that. Mother always says, see, man, come live with me, two different
things.
Which is true, because you can have a friend and you and them are cool, and then you and them spend like a week together or something, and you're like, was she always, or was he always like this? Like, this is new, like, you know?
We're not saying that you, as Christians,
you should live.
No, we're not saying that.
That's a no-no.
That's a no-no. Because temptation is real.
And the devil works.
The devil works.
Overtime too.
Non-stop.
But seriously though.
Yeah, and not only that though, they say that we shouldn't date if we're not ready to get married.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not completely with that, because experience teaches wisdom, and you're gonna date somebody, or let's say you listen and you don't date until you think you're ready to get married, and the first person that comes around, they wow you. You're like, yeah.
Even if
because
you're
not used to anything.
Even
you don't
if
know.
this person is bare minimum, you're like,
wow, this is the one.
This
love at first sight.
You have nobody to
Me,
compare person to.
love the boy. Love him. We after marriage. After marriage. And you literally know nobody else. You know nothing. There's nothing to compare it to. And then when you get married to him, and you see your friend's husband doing something else, you're like, what? My husband is here.
If you didn't know, and Pastor always say, if you didn't know,
yeah. Shout out to Pastor, by the way. Hey, Pastor.
We love you.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm not for that. And I don't like it when they force marriage down people's throats. Like, they're like, oh yeah, this girl been talking for 3 years. What you waiting on? First of all, we ain't with the struggle, period. We are not with the struggle. If we're not financially stable, I don't think it is the right time to get married.
And then they're going to pull up on you and say, then leave them. If you're not ready to get married, why are you dating? And then the thing is, when you're about 25, 26, and 27, and you're single, they're going to come to you and ask, why don't you get somebody? Why are you not married?
Why you not? What's
I can't understand.
Sister Charnel?
The mat's not matching.
The Lord.
But hold on.
Brother, come back, the Lord.
They tell us, no dating.
Right.
No dating when from
so
you're
a
teenager, and then you're 24, and it's all of a sudden, are you gonna get married, ma'am? Sir, you told me I can't date.
Right.
So how am I going to magically come up with a fiance?
No, and then it's you and this little boo now. And you're, Sister Charnel, what's the Lord saying? How's it looking, Sister Charnel? We need to have a little marriage session, a little counseling. No, you don't do that.
We're just testing the waters. We don't
know them. We don't know them. So I don't think that a time limit should be put on how long a person should court. Neither should you make somebody feel so, I know time around now, if I'm married now, because what's the Lord saying?
Honestly, the image that they paint from the old time religion days is that marriage is the end goal for Christians.
Right, and if you're a Christian and you don't want to get married and you don't want to have children, what is wrong with you?
You haven't
What is wrong? The Bible says be fruitful and multiply.
Like, but if there's nobody to multiply with, though, sir, now, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So there's that.
You're hearing stories from the older people about how they were courted or they courted somebody.
Could you speak up?
Sorry. Hearing stories from the older folks about how they were courted or how they courted somebody. I think, for example, I don't want to call any names.
Please don't.
For this particular couple, I remember the wife saying that when she was courted, she was at church. They met at church and everything, and they talked for probably 10 days. And then they went their separate ways. And then it's like she knew that I was supposed to be her husband. And I guess times were different.
Yes, because there's no way I'm gonna meet somebody and we're gonna talk for 10 days and then I know that this is my husband.
10 days, will you marry me?
No, sir.
They fell in love, love at first sight and everything like that.
No, sir.
So,
I think we're like this because we have trust issues.
Yeah.
We're like this because
Society.
yes.
and the women and men, I can't even say men and women and men are so different today. Like, people are evil.
And not only that, they want to stay Christian boys, and I'm not bashing any Christian boys on here, but some Christian men, they're the worst
Yeah.
ever date. Just putting it out there.
Just a disclaimer.
He
Christian
said
men-
not him, but some Christian men in real life, they're the worst to date, and that's just the truth.
One thing I have to, the one thing I have to big up from the old time religion is their spirituality.
Yes.
Number
Top tier.
one.
Top tier.
Yeah.
Right up there. Like the frequent prayer meetings, their relationship with God.
Bible studies.
Bible said, listen,
Not only that,
going to any one of them and ask for a scripture and tell them where
They
they
know.
are. Probably even know the page.
They know.
Probably even
They
know.
know.
they know, and the information is accurate.
Yeah.
They know.
Accurate. I love that.
And they really had a lot of faith in God. They truly depended on Him solely. Like some testimonies that they've told, them faith, they don't know mustard seed. Yeah, for them faith there, that faith that they had in God
Yeah.
was really
You can really admire that
yeah,
about them.
it was.
That's one thing I really love about the old time religion.
And how important they think or they have taught us that the Holy Ghost is, which it really is important, and how much we should involve God in everything that we do, because anything that God is in or anything that God does is well done. Yeah.
So I think that's one good thing about the old time religion. Especially, I love the hymns.
Yeah.
I love how they praise Him.
Oh, chance to say. Alright.
My favorite is so sweet.
That's your favorite hymn?
That's your favorite hymn?
I thought it was Higher Ground.
Oh, that too.
What's my favorite hymn? I don't know. I love
What's my
Majority.
favorite hymn?
I love Majority.
I love the Lower Lights because that's a bright beat. I love that. I love what did I want to sing?
Oh!
Father's Church.
No, that's Earl's hymn. Shout out to
How does that
Earl.
go? How great thou art. Art. How great thou art. I love that song.
Yeah, that's a
Love
good
that
one.
song. Love that song.
I love Whiter
it.
Than Snow too. That's
Yeah.
a real good hymn. Whiter Than.
Again, let me say these are our opinions and we're not bashing anybody or anybody's views. This is just how we feel and we're just expressing it. I thank you. So we're moving on to the feedback question section. So we asked everybody, we asked some persons, and the question was, do you think that the rules/customs that the first time Christians had are still relevant today? And we told them to explain why their answer, just explain their answer.
Yeah.
So one of the first response, all of these are anonymous, by the way. So the first response said, it depends on the rule really, and if it is that you are grounded in God and know how to stay grounded, then certain rules that were created from back then can be omitted by such a person, knowing you are well able to make it into heaven with those certain rules to help you. If you are not level-headed, then certain rules are there to keep you in check. Nothing is wrong if you are not level-headed either. Those rules will help you make it to heaven if you think deeply about it. And if you think within yourself, you will know which you are. Decide wisely. Decide wisely. I love that. Decide wisely.
Okay, so this person said that she still believes that some of the rules are relevant to this day. The one that she made mention about in particular was the no sex before marriage rule. So she went on further to say that a lot of young people end up getting pregnant and contracting sexually transmitted diseases too early. It's a wide topic for discussion. Secondly, most times they end up with 3 different partners by the time they're in their 20s. They might say I'm talking nonsense, but look deep into it and see if it makes sense. Very few end up with the same partners, and in the end, they end up being mentally and emotionally scarred, which I totally agree with. That does happen in a lot of cases.
This person said, yes and no. Most of the rituals that first-age Christians practice from the Old Testament are obsolete, since those rules were written under law, not grace. Now we live according to New Testament laws, which are indeed more relevant to believers today.
I have another response here. It says, yes, I believe the rules such customs that first-time Christians had are still relevant today, as these foundation Christians paved the way for Christians of this generation. Though strict, they stood firm for the belief that holiness should be the standard of living for God's people, unlike today, where this standard is almost being eroded. True. I think we as Christians of this generation are too caught up in the things of this world. We are set apart people, and the earlier Christians embodied that fact. They were different from the world.
Which is
straight
true.
facts.
Yes.
True.
So this person said that some of them are still relevant, the rules that have logical reasoning behind it, and not just what you must do because that's how it's always been, but this is what you must do because it is written in the Bible, clearly stating that the action is acceptable or not, which I totally agree with as well.
This one was speaking to the wearing of pants or clothes. Some rules are obscured. For example, women must not wear pants because they say it's a man's garment. No. Clothing that pertains to a man at the time the verse was written would not have been understood to mean pants. Men in the Middle East, through the history of the Old and New Testaments, did not ordinarily wear pants. They wore robe-like garments. The scripture more specifically addresses and forbids transvestism and cross-dressing.
A whole history lesson.
Yep.
Wow.
That person knows a lot.
I got one right here. It says, no, not at all. For instance, not being able to wear jewelry whatsoever, but a wedding ring is okay, or a watch. I think it's that we are not supposed to become obsessed with jewelry or dating extravagance, but in moderation.
Yeah.
Right. So like you wouldn't see a Christian, you know those ice stone chokers,
Yeah.
and that's too much. That's way too much. But an earring is fine if your church wears earrings and a necklace and stuff like that. That's fine. Somebody in short said, not all of them, some of them are too extreme. We live in 2 totally different times, but then again, they had a better relationship with God, I presume.
And the last one?
This person said, well, me hope me not sing by saying this, LOL, but no, they do not. This generation is way different from those back then, and life is ever changing. So we go church and older folks wear them frock down on them ankle and still have on stockings and their heads must be covered and stuff. Nowadays, all jeans people wear go church on a particular Sunday. Young people find more vibrant ways to praise God and live up the thing. Older folks wouldn't mind singing the same hymns and reading the same Bible verses every day. I could go on, but my answer is no.
Wow, that was a mouthful, and that person came out real strong.
That's a solid no.
That's a solid no.
They're not for it.
They're not for it.
Thank you for your responses, everybody.
Yeah.
It's really appreciated. We really appreciated the responses.
And we understand everyone's views and everyone's opinions.
We've come to the end of our very first episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope you guys were entertained.
Yeah.
And just to reiterate, this is not to bash the old-time religion or to offend anybody. So if we did, we apologize sincerely. We're just sharing our views and our opinions. And we hope you receive it with the love. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for tuning into our video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please follow us on all socials linked down below in the description box. And don't forget to turn on your post notification bell so you're notified every time we upload a new video.
And if you have any topics that you want us to discuss, you can also send us an email. It will be in the description box down below. You can DM us on Instagram as well. And, just connect with us.
And comment as well. And if you have our personal numbers, you can also text us.
Okay, so thank you for watching Kingdom Youth, unraveling the truth behind and from secret lips.